Now how's that for an 870 clip? What's going on, guys, in the works? And yes, we're playing some more Warfighter, and in my last video I talked a little bit about the Pointman class and how it's my favorite class in Medal of Honor Warfighter. And a lot of you guys wanted me to kind of elaborate on that and do a video talking about this particular build. And the 870 is a weapon that is actually a secondary on this class. A lot of people thought it was a primary in my last video, like, wait, isn't the 870 a primary? But it's actually the secondary to this class. And a lot of people think that it's not really that good. I know in the beta I wasn't a huge fan of it. But getting on PC and actually getting to experience the game on what I consider my native platform right now, it seems a lot better. It's a lot easier to get behind people and just really wreck face with this thing. And I think it's definitely a very underrated class. And the Pointman is basically that guy who's up in the front lines. In some games, you often see the recon class as, quote, the reconnaissance class, you know, and it makes sense. But in Medal of Honor, they've kind of comboed a more aggressive style class with the reconnaissance. So this is kind of a blend of being able to do recon and, you know, be offensive at the same time. As you see, I sneak up behind those guys, and that's one thing you don't want to let me do, is sneak up behind you with an 870, because I will go to town. And let me tell you guys, the 870, even though it is a secondary, even though you will get frustrated when you're learning to use it, when you get in the right scenarios, this thing is very, very effective. Now, you see me using the 870, or the, obviously I'm using the 870. You see me using the AUG, aka the F88, on this particular build, and it has a very high zoom scope. And unfortunately, with this particular weapon, you only have the higher zoom scopes. I think the lowest you can get is the ACOG scope, which is kind of frustrating because in a lot of scenarios on these maps, you don't really need a higher zoom scope. It's more advantageous to maybe go in there with like a red dot sight or a holographic or even the iron sights. Unfortunately, it takes a while to unlock anything other than the high zoom scopes on the AUG, but the AUG isn't really a heavy hitter. It's actually a little bit more lower damaging than some of the other Pointman weapons. You saw me use the AK-103, I believe, in my first video where I was the Pointman, and that's a pretty heavy hitter, but it doesn't have a faster rate of fire, whereas the AUG has a faster rate of fire, seems to have a more manageable recoil, but in the same respect doesn't do a lot of damage. So there's a lot of variety on the Pointman class. You know, you can get higher fire rate weapons, you can get low fire rate weapons, but it all revolves around that 870, and that's really what makes this class hum to me. I love the 870. You know, I know my buddy Sweat said that he thinks the 870 is just absolute dog crap, but I really just think it takes a certain mindset to get in the swing of things with this, because when I first played the game in the beta, like I said, the 870 was just a pile of poo. I didn't want to touch it. But when I learned the strengths and weaknesses of this class, I really just fell in love with it, and it's pretty much my go-to class. Now, I don't see a lot of people running this, though. I don't see a lot of people using the Pointman. Usually you're either going to be recon, it seems like, or sniper, I should say, in this game. I'm a battlefield guy, so I always want to think of the sniper class as the recon class. I don't know why that is. I need to get that out of my brain. But the sniper class, you see a lot of assault classes. I don't see a lot of Pointman, and it makes me upset. You know, you see a lot of spec ops too, but the Pointman, in my opinion, is the most balanced class, because not only do you get recon, you do get some offensive score chain rewards. You know, you get the airburst mortar, which in my opinion is often overlooked as being not as good as some of the other score chain rewards. I think the airburst mortar, if you can find the right concentration of people, is going to lead you up to the next score chain in a lot of scenarios, and I really do enjoy the airburst mortar. So I like this class. I like the blend of reconnaissance and offensive kill streaks, and it makes it very effective. I mean, look at that. I knew that guy was coming to get revenge on his partner, able to whip out the 870 and boom, one shot. So if you can hit center mass with the 870, oftentimes you are going to get one shots with it. In the worst case scenario, you're going to get a two-shot, and a two-shot is not too shabby because the pump action on this thing is not very slow. As you see me one-shot that guy, I know his buddy's coming for revenge. I know he's on top of me, and I get a one-shot there. So it's all about hitting center mass. If you can center mass these targets, you're going to get one-shot kills. But Pointman's definitely my favorite class. I can say that very confidently. I've played, you know, I think I'm working on about 8 hours into the game. I played about 10 hours of the beta, and I think overall the Pointman, in my opinion, was the best class in terms of being a nice balance between helping your team out and in the same respect having some kill streaks that are score chain rewards that will kind of reward you. You know, it'll give you some kills, it'll make you feel good about your final score and stuff like that. Because I do like the airburst mortar, but I feel naked if I don't have my UAV, and that's something that I really, really like about this particular class in general is the fact that I can have my UAV. As you see me get yet another 870 kill, and if you went and looked at my stats right now, you'd see that the 870 is actually I think it's my third most killed weapon. I think I got almost 50 kills with it now, which is a lot considering that I haven't played the game a ton. I know some of my friends have like 15 hours played already. I'm like, Jesus, no life, guys, but it's actually one of my most used weapons, so it is very, very effective. But I do like the variety in weapons too on the Pointman class. You know, like I said, you've got a heavy hitting weapon, you've got a fast fire rate weapon, so there is a lot of variety there. And I think it's safe to say that if you're looking for a nice beginner class that's a nice blend of helping your team and being offensive, Pointman's the way to go. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. I thought it would be appropriate since the game is still fresh, and a lot of you guys, I know a lot of you European guys haven't even got a chance to play the game now. Now maybe you'll have an idea of what are some strong classes to kind of start out with when you first get the game. But if you missed any of my other Medal of Honor videos or my Battlefield 3 videos, now's a chance to catch up. I did a Medal of Honor video kind of introducing you guys into the game, talking about some of the ins and outs of the particular combat mission game mode. And before that, I actually did a Battlefield 3 underused weapons with the 320 bucks. So check either of those out, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.